6 countries. If Eddie Jones wants to tear Italy apart, why are George Ford and Ben Young in B? Did Eddie Jones really need to include his seasoned half-backs, Ben Youngs and George Ford, on the England bench for this afternoon's visit to Rome? True. Italy had a relatively good afternoon in Paris a week ago, conceding a mere 37 points in the pouring rain. In 2021, the Italians not only finished their usual bottom place, but they also managed to concede an average of 48 points per game. So 37 points in the defeat by France in Paris. Damn right it was a mere tally. Italy have lost their last 33 Six Nations fixtures. They have never beaten England. It takes one hell of an English pessimist to see any England combination coming off second best today. On first viewing it is a selection with eye-catching positive. At last Jones has granted Alex Dombrandt a starting opportunity. The number 8 with the soft hands, the turn of foot and the symbiotic relationship with his club partner, fly half Marcus Smith, is long overdue his chance. Playing off his shoulder is Bristol's Harry Randall. There is no more up-tempo scrum half in the Premiership. He has the speed to create massive opportunities by exploiting the smallest gap. He is a natural overdrive player. The England manager wants to start fast and take the game to them. Randall is the ideal man to speed the English game, which was so slow in Edinburgh, into overdrive, especially against the weakest opposition in the tournament. The 8 and 9 in tandem possess the individual skills to force Italy's defence to worry about the threat on the fringes. Ben Youngs made England's one clean break in the first half against Scotland, but the good work was undermined by the reversion to his static kicking game of old. The tempo dropped and Smith was forced to operate against a defence under no pressure. Faye's ball was lethargic, the defence settled. Smith doing not very much wasn't the worst outcome. He could have overplayed his hand in a frantic bid to make something happen. He had his moment, but that's not enough. He needs to shape the side, and to do that he yearns for the sort of quick possession England have spurned for a few years now. Youngs, Owen Farrell and Ford were the main instruments of England's former pressure-based style, based around aerial bombardment of the opposition. Slow, secure ball works fine for such a strategy. It's a panacea for failure with Smith's giddy guile. Nor does it help the Harlequins fly half not to have a foil at centre in the style of his clubmate at inside centre, Andre Esterhuizen. The South African delivers the fly half the gain line and front foot. Henry Slade starts again at inside centre. It is not his natural habitat. Pop passes from Smith to Slade were a waste of time in Scotland. Slade cuts angles. In Edinburgh he tried to clatter, but not with any great success, despite admirable conviction. The Exeter Chief's teammate, Jack Nowell, could come in for some heavy-duty carrying off the wing with Smith's regular colleague, Joe Marchant, taking more of Slade's burden, freeing him to do what he does best and create for others. The players at 8, 9, 12, 11 and 13, all playing at a pace that escaped England against a more organised and superior Scotland side, is exactly what England require if they are to start fast. It should not be beyond this fresh-faced group's ability to light up Rome in the first hour. But then what? Bring on a scrum half in Youngs, who is one of the world's most experienced internationals, to enjoy the party. Or is Jones worried that England may have to raise the drawbridge and play siege rugby with the Leicester Tigers scrum half kicking Italy into submission while Ford replaces Smith to close out the game? The prospect of having to close out the game is horrific. It means the 15 Jones has selected to ignite the England team after a disappointing defeat by Scotland are not trusted. There is absolutely no point putting Ford on the bench unless it is to offer an alternative strategy. Against the best teams in the world, options are smart. Against a team who have lost their last 33 Six Nations game, it is an act of pointless gratuity. Smith could do with as many test minutes as he can get. If he and England are struggling, he should stay on the pitch to work his way through any inexperience. And if Ford remains on the bench, that is the waste of a sixth forward or an adaptable bench option in the eventuality of an injury. The versatile George Furbank spent the autumn preparing to be the flexible part of the equation, only to find another of the England old guard waiting to turn back the clock. Leicester have regained our love this campaign, but that's not to say the way their half-backs kick isn't a reminder of the England ways when their head coach, Steve Borthwick, used to look after the forwards as Jonas' side persisted with a dull, mechanical style.